The Book of Life. Discussions about the New Word. Thus saith the Lord. If to you my doctrine seems strange, in so far as you think that, knowing me, you have never heard these words, I tell you that your surprise is the result of your negligence in penetrating the depths of what I revealed to you in times past. It is for that reason that this doctrine seems strange or new, when in reality, this light has been always present in your life. My doctrine, in this, as in the second era, shall move humanity. The hypocrites will have to confront sincerity. Falsity will let its mask fall, and the truth will shine forth. The truth shall prevail over the lie that envelops this world. Man will be able to understand and recognize all that which encompasses reason and truth, but all that which he was obliged to believe without understanding, he will reject, and therefore my doctrine will spread, because it gives forth the light that men need. A great part of this work falls to you, the listener in Mexico, that of revealing to your brothers its beginning and its end. Humanity is hungry for my word, for my truth. Men yearn and clamor for the light to come to their understanding. They demand justice and await counsel. This is a decisive time. In truth, I tell you that many ideas, theories, and even dogmas that have been held as truths for centuries shall fall to the earth and be abandoned as false. Fanaticism and idolatry will be fought against and exterminated by those who were most involved and faithful to it. The teachings of God will be understood. Their light, their content, and their essence will be comprehended and felt. The men of science, after a time of testing, during which they will suffer very great confusion, when in their spirits the light shines, and they hear the voice of their conscience, will discover that of which they had never dreamed. Again, I tell you, be vigilant, for in the time of the struggles of creeds and doctrines, of religions and sciences, many men, knowing that you do not carry books, will believe that the knowledge given them by their books will be the weapon by which they can defeat my new disciples. I have told you, disciples, that you shall have to look at the great religions and the small sects directly in the eye. But before neither should you have fear. The truth that I have entrusted to you is transparent. The word that I have taught you is clear and simple on its surface, but infinitely deep in its content. And they are powerful weapons with which you will struggle and win. And yet, I tell you, there shall arise a people on the earth full of materialism and disbelief, to deny to you the right to call yourselves Israel, to deny your testimony of having received the new coming of the Messiah. And these people are the Jews. Have you not thought this? These people await in their bosom the arrival of their Messiah, their Savior, from whom they will receive justice, and who will place them once again over all the peoples of the earth. These people know that I have always come to them, and in this third era I shall say, why should God come to another people? But here are my teachings. This spiritualist people live unknown. The world does not know of your existence, and the great do not notice you. But the struggle between spiritualists and Christians, between spiritualists and Jews, approaches. That struggle is necessary for the establishment of my doctrine throughout humanity. Then shall the Old Testament be united in one single essence with the second and the third. To many, this appears impossible. To me, it is the most natural. It is just and perfect. The great book of true life. My word will stay written down for all time. With it, you will form the book of the third era, the third testament, the final message from the Father. For in the three eras has God wielded his golden scribes, witnesses and scribes who recorded the teachings of the Lord, to leave his wisdom to humanity. Moses was the first golden scribe, which the Father used to inscribe in inerasable letters in a book the events of the first era. Moses was the golden scribe of Jehovah. Among the apostles and followers of the second era, Jesus had 4 scribes, who were Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. These were the golden scribes of the Divine Master. And when the time arrived to unite the First Testament with the Second with bindings of love, recognition, and spiritual progress, then one single book was formed. Now in the third era, in which you have again my word, I have again named the golden scribes, so that it may be written down. When the time arrives, you will form a single book, and this book, that of the third era, will, when the time is right, be united with the book of the second and first eras. And then, with the revelations, prophecies, and words of the 3 eras, the book of life will be formed, for the enjoyment of all the spirits. Then you shall recognize that from the first word to the last, all has been fulfilled in truth and spirit, that all the prophecies were the future history that the Father revealed to humanity. For only God can write of events yet to be. When the prophets have spoken, it was not they, but God who did so through their conduit. I have prepared my new chosen ones sufficiently, as had been Moses and the 4 disciples of the second era, so that my word is recorded with complete cleanliness, clarity, and truth. For it is for the generations of tomorrow, and if any would add to or remove anything from this book, I shall see to them. This refers to the essence or lesson, and not to the different wording. Now, my very beloved children, who shall care about this book that you are forming? None, in truth, but the moment shall come in which a humanity full of anxiety and of curiosity asks you for your book. And then it shall be unveiled, scrutinized and discussed. In that struggle of ideas, bands will arise, men of science, theologians, philosophers. To the nations will be carried the testimony of your word, and the book of wisdom, and all shall speak of my doctrine. That shall be the beginning of the new battle, the war of words, of thoughts, of ideas. And in the end, when all have recognized in truth and spirit that the great book of life was written by the Lord, they will share brotherhood and love each other, as is my will. Why was the word of Jehovah in the first time not sufficient to unite the world? And why did Jesus not achieve it in the second era? Why, in this time, has it not been sufficient that since 1866 I have been giving you my word, for nations to love one another and live in peace? It is necessary for the 3 books to form one single book, so that this word illuminates the universe. Then shall humanity be surrounded by this light, and the curse of Babel will be erased, for all men will read the great book of true life. All will practice the same doctrine and will love one another as children of God, in spirit and truth.